Hi, my name is Angella. Nabu Kiwanuka.
I'm Angella Jen.
Carolyne Afroetry. I'm a poet and a spoken word artist, and currently I'm managing EcoMinds Poets.
The economy in Uganda, we are not really able to access like this kind of jobs according to what we have studied.
So one of the challenges is that I've not had someone to either mentor me. Most of the things come from my
money and try to put it in a side hustle. To me, it felt like something that
I'm not very confident when I say that I'm an artist because Welcome to Creative Talks Africa sessions. I am Nabu Kiwanuka, and today we are privileged to have an all-female. I think this is the first. It has to be the first all-female panel in the Creative Talks sessions. Today we are hosted by Chop House and KQ Creative. So today we're going to be talking about the women in the creative industry, the creative entrepreneurship. We're going to start with introductions of who we are and what we do, and we can kick off the conversation like that. So I think do we just go like that, or maybe from there and then I get to myself?
Hello, I'm Esther. I work in the fashion industry and in the engineering industry.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, my name is Angel. I do string art for hangings, and I'm a designer stroke artist.
Hi everyone, Afroetry Carolyne. I'm a poet and a spoken word artist.
Hi again. I am Nabu Kiwanuka, like I previously introduced myself. What do? I do so many things. I do so many things. I'm a lawyer, currently running a podcast, hashtag Nabu Kiwanuka. I'm an artist. I'm not very confident when I say that I'm an artist because I do so little of the art. It's just a one-off, maybe something once a year or even once in 5 years. So I'm not very confident when I introduce myself as an artist. I'm also founder of Equate Foundation. We're trying to give access to education to the poor and the underprivileged. So today we're going to be more into conversations about who is the woman in the creative industry, what challenges do they have, and what their experiences are like in this kind of venture. Do they find it an interesting thing? Do they find it challenging? Do they think they can actually take on the industry and actually claim it to be one made for the female? So we're going to go back into details of what each of us does and find the challenges and the things that we find very interesting for us to. Do we still want to be in the career? Do we still want to pursue it, or do we actually want to step out and leave it for the men? Because whether we like it or not, every profession has been taken on by the men. I mean, these guys came on before us, and we're just coming out and claiming everything, and they actually know that this thing is actually meant for us. They're scared, I should say, but let's find out if they're really supposed to be scared. So let's start with you, Esther. Take us through what you really do and your experience. What's your experience like in the industry?
Like I said earlier on, I work into different kind of industries, and I do a lot as a woman and as a mother, as a lady. There are so many things that I would like to really, talk about, and mostly when it comes to what I do. The things that you do because you love, and the things that you do because you want to make some kind of money. I think when it comes to professionalism, I did a business course at Makerere Business School as a procurement and supply chain management. But because of the employment, I can say how can I say? The economy in Uganda, we are not really able to access like this kind of jobs according to what we have studied. Like I can say, when you try to look for a job as a procurement officer, right now it's really hard to get into that kind of job market. So as a lady, you really have to look elsewhere and see what else can you do. Apart from being head of department of corporate social responsibility at Bodawerk, I also do fashion designing as a way of my side hustle to make ends meet, because I'm a mother and I also have siblings and all that. When it comes to fashion, we do a lot of, I mainly vest on what they call, not the Chitenge bit of it, but the Maasai. I don't know. When it comes back to where I come from, Karamoja, we use mostly Maasai shirts as our wear, like our traditional wear. So I do mostly try to create, kind of different clothing from the Maasai wear, not only the traditional bit of skirts. So I try to bring in other kind of fashion from it, and maybe make bags and all that, and also make beads, which is like our cultural part of clothing or maybe outfit. So we try to make it in a way that it's a bit modern, but still using taking us back to where we come from. When it comes to the challenges I face in the industry, I can mostly say industry of fashion, because my other work business is mostly about connecting to the community, which is what I do at Bodawerk, is portraying the company to the community we are working with. What I do in the fashion business as a lady right now, I haven't really come out to, I can't say I haven't made much out of it, because it's something I do as a side hustle, as I told you earlier on. The challenges I've faced right now is that the Maasai sheet, to me, as to what I really base on, the Maasai sheet is not something like everyone would look at in Uganda. So we have like really very few people that can say, let me wear this kind of thing, because they're really so colorful. So some people are like, no, this is not something I would like something neutral. So portraying to the Ugandan market has been really hard for me. So it has always gone back to my home district, to maybe to a few models here. In the, we want to do shorts and different shots of the kind of things that I do. It has been really hard in terms of really funding. It has not been easy for me, but I try through my. Okay, many women call it kameza money. like if you're married, they call it kameza money. So we try so we do, when you save your kameza money and try to put it in a side hustle. To me, it felt like something that I could do as a woman to make my hands meet as a woman, because I know in our family other things can come in. The guy is also there, you come in too. But as my own kind of, to make sure that my hair is met, my other things, I have to have my own side hustle. So I really don't know whether I've answered your question so well.
You're on track.
I'm on track, but I'll get to it.
Okay, Angel, can we have an insight on what you do?
My name is Angella.
Yeah.
I do string art. String art, it's the use of thread it's more of like weaving. It's not weaving, but there's a weaving technique and embroidery, all those, they're like a family. So mainly what string art is all about, it's it's arranging strings on surfaces like this. Oh, it's upside down. Like this.
Yeah.
Arranging strings on surfaces. I can do it on a board, on a wooden board. I can do it on using metal. These strings can be metal. It can
More
be
like copper wire?
Yeah, it can be copper wire. It can be in such an environment. In a building, it can be on the streets, it can be street art. Mainly it's arranging strings in geometric patterns.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of mathematics involved.
I was going to ask, does it involve anything like TD? What is it called, TD?
YDX.
Technical drawing?
Yeah, plus a lot of DYDX, those things like we left in high school.
Oh my god.
Find X.
Yeah, find X. 'Cause I always find X.
Yeah.
So I use different colors. I use these strings really come in different colors. You guys have seen them around.
Yeah.
All over the place. And I've used strings for a while. Since I was a kid, I used to make bracelets. That people that know me know that I make
Easier.
I make things like these ones, and I just give them out. When it's someone's birthday, I make something and then I give it out to someone. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense to me because I made it with a lot of passion. And the person the person I give it to doesn't like see.
They don't see the
They
value.
don't see the value. They don't see where I'm coming from. They don't know my story. Of course, some things look fake. I can say, but when I'm making them, I make them with
passion.
I'm a collector, so I pick up things.
Yeah.
At campus, I used to pick up glass, like in the parking lots, to create faces. I used to pick up different things, so my place was always full of
Scrap.
I remember my brother one day asked me whether I'm a witch doctor. I had the covers of the sugar cane. I had kept them to dry.
Oh.
Wow.
I wanted to make I wanted to make a tablecloth.
Yeah.
Not a tablecloth, a table mat.
Yeah.
I had an idea in my head. I wanted those things to dry, and I varnished them, and I color them, and they were not going to look like sugarcane husks or what. They were going to look like sugarcane. So I kept on getting these things telling me, "Hey, you, what are you up to? Are you this? Are you this? Are you this?" So a lot of questions came in. I decided to just shut everyone out and do my own thing. So I had strings. Like I said, I had been using strings like all my life, doing different things really. I'll just collect things and hide them and put them at my place. Then when I realized I had a lot of string, I decided to try something out, and I started doing string art. When I started doing string art, I reached out to people around that I knew were doing string art, the people around that do nice pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to connect with them. There are really, really, really few people. So one of the challenges is that I've not had someone to like either mentor me. Most of the things come from my head, my crazy ideas. Curiosity. I am very curious, very curious, and it drives people around me crazy because sometimes I think about things and I only understand. I'm the only one that understands them, unless I bring.
And only you can translate them.
Yeah, unless I create something that someone else sees. I can't explain what I'm thinking. It's hard. It's more of a way to communicate. Yeah, when I'm creating, I'm communicating. I feel comfortable that way, and I haven't had a lot of people to like learn from. The people that I learn from are not really around.
Yeah.
You just find a piece on the internet, and you go looking for a source, and you ask them, how did you do this or this? So mainly what I do, I get from my brain and experience. If I try something, more of iterating. If I try something and it fails, I do it again. And one of the processes I've adopted is the design process of prototyping, all those things, ideating. I go through that process in my work, and it has really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It helps me really, really a lot. And the fact that I have to go back and do mathematics, it's really, really disturbing.
A DYX.
It's really disturbing. I did statistics at campus.
Yeah.
But trust me.
Does it come with some sort of calculations?
Yes, it does. For example,
You see the kind of pattern that you have. It reminds me of the dividers.
Yeah.
Is it called a divider?
Yes.
There's those two things in the mathematical set. There's one where you put the pencil. Which one is it?
The compass.
Okay. Yes.
I have the
when you
set
use
at
it
home.
and
I have the small version and the big version. These things that teachers used to use, the wooden rulers and the protractors. I have the small version and I have the big version.
so you have to first go through all the kind
I
of.
have to do
All the instruments.
a lot of. These nails are 1 centimeter apart, all of them. Strictly 1 centimeter apart, all of them. So any miscalculation, I get a different design. When I don't do something right, I get a different thing. if you miss one nail or you miss 2 centimeters, it skews somehow, it tilts to another angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but it's fun. Another challenge I've faced is that most of my artwork is, it's really just me trying to be creative and me being curious, and the people around our society wants professionals. I don't have papers to show my work. I don't have papers to show where I'm coming from. I don't have papers to show my story, because it's something I feel, it's a passion, it's a way of expressing myself. So if I'm going to do something somewhere and then someone asks me for a paper, or someone asks me where I've worked before, or what guys I've worked with before, to just see whether I fit in, I don't have such a thing. So it's hard to compete with like some particular places. It's hard to compete. So what I do, I just do my work, I do my ish. That's what I'm trying to do actually right now. I'm trying to do my work so that they see me for my work.
Yeah.
I want my work to speak for me. I don't have papers.
Yeah.
So I have to like put in like extra work to show myself, to prove that I really love what I'm doing, and I do the right things and the best things, and what I feel is really what is coming out.
Okay, I want to understand something. When you speak about the need for the papers, where does this come from? Because I'm trying to understand it from a lens of, I'm a lawyer and I go to a law firm and I'm asking for a job. They're definitely going to ask about my history in education, which firms I've worked with. For art, I feel like someone should be taking on the product, not where are your papers. Like, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense. It has to be the product.
It depends on the environment. There are places where I try to penetrate and they want to know the professional guys I've worked with. For example, let me just give an example. If there are PhD holders, my career, the people that are known, the architects that are known. So if you've collaborated with them, that's an advantage too. It's more like building a CV.
Wow.
It's more like building a CV. The more you have, the better. It like speaks for you. Like, you've worked with this guy. Yeah, something like that. Not like you have to present your papers really, but they want to know the person you've worked with. And for you to work with that person, you have to either they have to know you from school, from art class, or they have to have interacted with you or studied with you, or they have to know that you can really do what you're doing very well. And how else really than having a paper speak for you?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So for me, if I just present myself and I say I'm an artist,
and I didn't go through art school.
I didn't go through art school. No one knows me.
Oh yes.
No one has seen my work. They just think I'm hustling. Like, I'm an artist.
You're trying so much.
You're trying so hard.
Oh yeah.
So there's that need, not necessarily seeing your physical papers, but they want to know who are you, where are you coming from,
connections.
One. Yeah. So your work has to speak for you.
So, Nabu. Yes. I can't pronounce your name well, but okay. I have created a platform for my poetry, and based on my experience, navigating through all the poetry and expression and all the other challenges that come as a woman. How do you deal with your podcast? I know starting a podcast is actually very, very difficult, because I've thought about it before, but I just never have tried it. So how do you deal with that?
I was scared to start, but for me it wasn't because I'm a woman. Although I looked for inspiration from women and I didn't find it. I found a couple of podcasts from Uganda and I mostly found guys. I've not found. Oh, I saw one recently by Angella, and she's just come out. She came out after I came out. I'm not saying she got the inspiration from me, but actually what we raised on, he told me about her. And then I was like, someone else is coming up. I think people are starting to appreciate the podcast as platforms of communication. For me, it's just looking for inspiration as a woman. So I had to
clothe myself into. I had to be a woman and a man at the same time, because I needed to know, how does the man do this? And what can I do as a woman to make it work?
Yeah, based on your own experience with inspiration, I also see Angel actually also derives the same kind of inspiration by looking at other people's work on the internet to create your own art.
Yes, I did. Most of the work that I have, okay, I can't say most of the work that I have, but some of the work that I have, I drew inspiration from other artists' work. Of course, you don't reach out, you don't copy and paste, but when someone has created something, mostly what I do, I reach out to them and I ask them whether I can try out something on my own. So I derive ideas from that. I get inspired like by a lot of things, even nature around us, people.
Like you get a piece of that inspiration and create your own.
Yes, so I create my own thing. I add in my own thoughts, my own feelings, I add in my own experiences, and then I create something.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I also sense that same feeling comes from fashion, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you look at some amazing fashion even on the internet, or maybe just by attending a fashion event and you're like, oh, I can apply this to my line.
Inclusive of the fabric that she talked about.
Yeah.
Mostly, I can say, most of the inspirations I get personally are mostly from my culture. The local museums in Karamoja.
You guys have museums?
Yeah, we do. We have collection centers, but we have one Karamoja museum in Moroto. But we also have like they call it the Atu Center. Atu Center collects the ancient pieces and they put them together. So mostly if you want to learn back about culture, you have to go back to the center, and there are people that go through to teach you about that. So mostly I go visiting these cultural centers to collect more ideas, but mostly driving back to our ancient people, and of course I'm incorporating the modern work of other artists.
Yes.
Yeah, but driving back to the cultural values too.
Yeah, that's amazing, because if you can take that experience and you create your own using culture, it makes your fashion, your art unique.
A little bit.
Especially the fabric itself.
Yeah.
It's not common.
It's not common, but just like I said, it's very hard to really like convince like people. Like I can say, when you come to the central, to convince them that this is also something nice. Everyone is always like has a perspective to say about the fabric. I recently first released some weird. I don't know, can I call it cyberbullying or something? No, like someone posted the Masai sheets on some platform on Facebook, and when it posted like all kind of work, everyone was like, who is that? Who is like, you know, like when people try to put, and most of them are women and young women, so when people don't appreciate your work, you get demoralized a bit. So but you just need to focus on what you really
Just have to keep pushing your product.
Because I've also experienced that, you know, when you put out something really nice,
they're like,
and you're discouraged. But then you wake up the next day and you're like,
now you just have to push on and all that. Yeah.
Do you get that same kind of criticism with your work when you like, when you're selling your work, or maybe when you're showcasing some of your work?
Yes, I do. Like I said earlier, there are pieces that are good to me.
Oh yes.
But they're not good to others.
Yeah.
Someone can look at something you've done and they're like, what is that? Then you have to explain it. And then they're like, oh, but...
And then when you explain, it just takes away.
But it's really important to explain, because then they understand. You bring someone into your world and you understand what you do and how you do it.
Because every like piece, it has a story. It's unique.
Yeah, and then they get to appreciate
what
really goes on.
And you also mentioned your history with art.
Yes.
So what's up with that?
One.
My history with art, I've been an artist right from childhood, but schools and the formality of what they demand from us and what parents expect or what the society expects does not give you so much privilege to venture into the artistic industry. I used to draw, people loved my art, I loved my art, and then you find that they keep asking, yes, you love art, but what are you supposed to do? What do you want to be? What do you want to be? Growing up, I didn't hear anyone say something like, I want to be an artist. I want to be a poet. Just recently, I had a conversation with a cousin. She was in her S1, I think, at that time. And then I asked her what she wanted to be. Okay, she said something really strange. She said she wanted to be a princess.
How old is she?
She was in her S1. I was like, what is that? I mean, these kids are watching too much Disney.
Yeah.
And she said she wants to be a princess. I'm like,
Sophia.
are you kidding? Do you want to be something else? But okay, you can be a princess. Then what else do you want to be when you're a princess?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to kill it for her. And then she was like, I want to write. I was like, okay. I had been exposed to the writers. But how do you advise that person to go through all this kind of processes that you don't really know about? Yes, people are writing, but how do they push their product? You don't have an idea.
Yeah.
It's easier for you to, if she had come on out to me and say she wanted to be a doctor, it would be very easy for me to go and point out the female doctors, tell them, hey, you can actually talk to her and she guides you. I want to be a lawyer. Hey, you can actually go and do this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think there is a whole misconception about art because I also see that in writing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't study literature in school. That's the thing. So I did something totally different because I was supposed to choose between law. I wasn't good at sciences.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. What's mass communication? Then I opted for tourism.
Oh yeah.
I didn't pursue tourism. I just left it at that level because still, even the information I learned, I can still apply it in poetry. Like when I'm writing about nature,
Oh yeah.
it's an inspiration.
Sure.
Yeah, so usually sometimes we have to step out from the way society perceives us to what we want to actually do. Like the way you bring out your own perception and feeling about your art, your creativity, how you're owning it. And also how you also navigate the fashion line. You applying all that experience in your fabric.
Oh yes.
This is what I have to get
Yeah.
But apart from that, the challenges we go through as female creatives, and also the other bit of entrepreneurship, how do you navigate that? Is it working for you in your fashion line?
Do you want to keep pushing for it?
I can say mostly women really have to just don't have to look at the way society has been, where they say you have to go through professional courses, and like women in Uganda are really denied the passion, I can say, like access to explore their own inner passion or being or likes, I can say. Like to me, when I finished my S6, the time when we were deciding which course to take at campus and all that, I remember my dad and my brother chose for me because that's what they wanted, the family line to be kind of.
You weren't given space.
Yeah, like you weren't able to make your own decision to be like, I want to take this course. So they discussed which course can she take and all that. So they decided the courses and that's what I filled in according to what they wanted us to be. I feel like women are not given that space to just follow what they want to. That's why you feel like you go through all the 3 years at campus, you take a course, and at the end of it all, you don't have the passion to pursue that career anymore, and you just leave it at then, and you now have to start from scratch. And yet you had the opportunity to have started it earlier on. If they had given you a choice, to do what you wanted, you would have started it maybe from first year already. Then I feel like if I'd done fashion from fashion from maybe year one, maybe I would have grown to a good artist, a good fashion designer right now. Or maybe if I'd also I wanted to also work with really like a social worker, like interact with people more than any other. If I'd also given myself that given me the opportunity earlier on. But I think it also comes to always the financial bit of it, because me, I was limited because of I grew up from a very extended family. So my dad was always like, if you get to government sponsorship or government scholarships, you always have to take it. It tells you, when you're done, I will take you to the course you want, but you have to go and take this one, because we are limited in resources and all that. So I think to me that was a challenge earlier on. Right now, women have we mothers that have learned that life is not the way it was. Maybe we have to now talk to the girl child earlier that you can make your own, like what do you love to do. When you grow up, what do you want to do? Not give them other opportunity, like other ideas too. Like other. Don't give them. You can become a doctor. You can become. Like only those professional courses. Can we also like give our kids other artistical and other passion, to explore? Maybe that's a question that bounces back to the mothers right now, to anyone parenting, because we have to open up for the girl child. I've seen boys are always have that, they have, how can I say, it's always easier for them to navigate into all these liberty than women, because they feel like a woman should be a nurse, should be, should go to
I think it's also the perception that society has put into us that women should actually take on, what is given to them, whether they like it or not. And what you mentioned about being a mother, because what the information you're trying to pass on to your child and how you're trying to educate them, give them options on what they can be. I also do that with my daughter, because she sees, shall I tell I'm a poet? Right? And she's like,
she's never heard of it.
They don't talk us about poets
in school.
How are you a poet, So I'm trying to tell her, the whole process, and she's liking it. She's like, oh, okay, that's good. So we have to re-educate our children away from the school system and the perception of society. So that they have more options and they're able to pursue, their passion. And for you, Angel. So for you, how is the whole entrepreneurship, this part, working for you within your own artistry?
Are you reminded quite often that you're a woman?
Indirectly. Indirectly, because my work has a lot to do with the hard work. I have to be in a workshop setting. I do the nailing, and it's really physical. I do all those things. I can really get dirty, if you see me working, it's really not pleasant. But most of those things are meant for men. Men have workshops. I don't know any woman.
Society has decided they're meant for men.
The men have workshops. The men are the ones that work the machines. I don't know why women don't work machines. I don't know if they think we're vulnerable.
It goes back to what we're talking about. From childhood they tell you these are jobs for.
A woman should do this. And if there are machines at home, if there's a hammer at home, usually it's the guys to handle. So the mechanical things, it's really the guys. The girls are really kept in the kitchen to take care of visitors or cook or something. So they don't really get exposed. They don't have the exposure. They don't have the exposure. People have weird passions. There are women that love football.
Weird? That's not weird.
They're not weird, but they're out of this world. If you listen to girls and their dreams, they have things.
Wild dreams.
And me personally, when it comes to my kind of work, when I'm working machines, someone somewhere has to tell me, no, let this one do it. And I'm like, why? I want to do it. I want to do it because there's something I want to create when I do it. Let me do it. No, let this one do it. This one does it better and faster, and you're going to slow us down.
Oh.
So they're pushing in something.
So the other option is actually
That ideology that she can't do it.
yeah, you're
They're
going
actually
to
telling
slow
it's
us
for a
down.
woman.
This one is going to hurry. We don't have time.
Yeah.
So it's really challenging in that area because it's the guys that know how to do the things. They know how to work the machines. They know how to do that. So when in the creative space, it limits you somehow because now you have your things are going to get buried with you. Every time you try to bring out something or an idea, they push you aside.
Because they believe a man can do it better.
Better and faster. So it's really challenging and trying to break that glass.
But now, from your experience, do you actually feel like a man can do a better job than you do?
From my experience, no. From my experience, I feel like I could teach them something.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
There are things I can teach those guys.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, a lot of people. Yeah, of course, I can't say. Of course, there are other guys that can do things that are better than what I do. But then, women are naturally thinkers. We are naturally creative.
Yeah.
You could teach a man how to work smart.
Yeah.
He knows how to do things, to work the machines. They know how to. They dominate some of these spaces, but you could teach them to maybe, I don't know, reduce their workload by, I don't know, women have those skills. They do things, multitasking. There are things we can really do, and sometimes we are better than them in those areas and they do not see. So they shut us out, and that's how the world.
It's like that whole, perception. Like I read it somewhere that if you, like in art, like your type of art, if you taught a man and a woman the same type of art, and you trained them, and they're supposed to produce it at a certain period of time, your art will look slightly different from his art because you apply an extra skill as a woman compared to what he's applying.
Yeah, naturally, I think
Intuition, maybe.
Yeah, we're gifted with things, creativity, and I don't know. A woman is just some thing we need to explore more, really.
The mystery.
Talent. Yeah, we have a lot of things buried within, and if we could just have the space to come out, we could really show take on the world.
Rules. And especially multitasking. You do multitasking. I know. Being a lawyer or doing that charity, an artist.
It's too much.
How do you handle?
I love everything that I do. So it's the passion that drives me. In the professional field, I'm a lawyer, yes. I want to make change. I want to resolve problems. Yes, I do. I love resolving problems. And I love it when people come on up to me and say, hey, I need something to be solved. And I keep getting people coming to me. That's the lawyer part. And even outside the law field, people still come to me. When you listen to my podcast, there's a couple of things talking about self-development. How do you be better every day? How do you maneuver certain experiences? Can you actually go through this kind of experiences? Do you have something that can snap you out of it? So I like resolving problems. And that's the most reason for me to put up the podcast. The other reason is my love for conversations. No, that's aside. That's the lawyer beat aside. And the challenge that I have with that is I only got that challenge this year, having to resolve someone's problem. I think it's the con artist that had come through to office, and I was really trying to ask him questions, trying to dig to the bottom of the truth, and he was offended. So when my boss walked in, he screamed, "What is this young girl doing? She doesn't know what she's doing." Yeah, and then at some point my boss came in and asked, "What is going on?" He was still screaming. He was an elderly man. I was in between respect and maintaining my position, because when you're dealing with clients, you have to have so many personalities. You have to be tough and humble and polite and all those kinds of things. So he was still screaming. Then my boss called him into his office. He was very much obliging. possibly he felt like this is a fellow man he would understand. My boss kicked him out and finally I was like, oh wow. Finally he knows I'm not just a young girl.
Yeah, that was very important, how you expressed and how you were able to handle that.
Yeah.
And of course, with all that based on your experience and the current crisis we're all dealing with as creatives, the COVID-19, and also what we plan to do afterwards. I know it's a little rough for most of us, for me, because actually there's not much change for me. Because I'm doing the same stuff. My schedule is still the same. Of course, apart from that, maybe the shows are not there.
They've been shut out.
Yeah, they've been shut out, but we are making use of that.
Online.
The online. Zoom has become Zoom. So we are utilizing that
Everyone
too.
is zooming in.
Yeah, everyone is zooming in. So, how are you able to, how are you able to deal with all this mess of COVID-19? Just briefly.
On my side, COVID-19 has really affected. It really affected us in various ways. When it comes to mostly accessing the market, it has really been hard. But I think we're taking this all time to try to create more and also think out of the box. For example, I just learned that I don't have to deal with only my work and maybe my fashion to make money. As a woman, I think this time it has given me more time to try to explore. So I'm trying to bring in more ideas of what else can I do as a woman to make more money, or what else can I explore as a person. So I think that's what I'm working on right now. I have so many ideas with me. I've been actually discussing with Anne about some other things, and I think I'm going to talk to more about other people to find out if these ideas are something that I could explore. So I want to enter more into other aspects, ventures, and see what happens.
That's
All you
great.
need, I think all you need to have all these things done is having a timetable. I've thought about it, I've not created it. I feel like sometimes I sit back and I'm like, how are you doing everything? And then I talk to myself, I advise myself and say, you draw a timetable, and then I think about the timetables in school, and I'm like, really? Is there a break time now? And then there's no break time. I'm like, whatever comes on plate will come.
Yeah, that sort of works with me, and but somehow we have to deal with that. Angel, how is it?
The COVID-19 situation is a bit tough because what I do right now, what I can do right now, I can't do much because everything is shut out. What I can do right now is re-innovate and sit back and make myself independent from any other creative, independent from any other woman, and try to define really what I want. And it's back to the drawing board, repositioning, I could say. And it's really important in strategizing and mainly.
I think this COVID-19 is a way to reorganize ourselves as artists and everything, get back to the drawing board and realize how much we can use from, the whole artistry and the creative process. So, to cut it short, it has been an amazing conversation with you, with each one of us, and to be able to share, our experiences as women, how to be able to navigate this whole creative process and the entrepreneurship and managing the COVID-19 crisis and beyond.
Actually.
I've enjoyed this discussion.
Thanks for taking us through
Thank you.